So someone sent me a portion of something that was said in this book, and I'm going to read it to you. I had to type it out myself because if you, the way the picture was taken was kind of crooked, and then the version that was straight is too pixelated to read. So I had to grab it from like the one that was kind of awkwardly crooked. What I will say is this is pretty much Ryan Reynolds' confession. And the great thing about the way this is written is this is the way Ryan Reynolds writes, which is partly in character, but also partly telling the truth. That's why his shtick is the fourth wall, right? He puts nuggets of truth in the middle of talking about characters. So just listen very carefully to the confession that Ryan Reynolds does. But I will say this confession learned something from Amber Heard's trial. And in Amber Heard's trial, the reason she failed to win against Johnny Depp in regards to defamation was because she made it explicitly clear it was about Johnny Depp. In this case, Ryan Reynolds makes sure to say it's an overall general thing. It's not about Justin Baldoni. It's just about men that resemble Justin Baldoni, right? So maybe that this little blurb, even though to me it's an absolute confession of his tactics and what he decided to do to destroy Justin Baldoni's life. I will also say, though, that it might be the thing that protects him from being sued for this nice pool thing, because he tried to make it sound general. Here you go. He says, in one respect, nice pool is everything Deadpool wishes he was. Reynolds says, easy breezy, gorgeous hair, normal face, gold-plated 50 caliber Desert Eagle pistols, and this beautiful suit. But the thing that Deadpool is most covetous of is, of course, Dogpool. I had originally thought that Dogpool was representative of Blake Lively, but realizing now in this one he says covetous, it was not about Blake. It most likely is Dogpool was the movie, and the two guns is the first and second. It represents the rights, maybe, with those guns. All right, so Nice Pool initially just existed to serve. Okay, this is the whole purpose of Nice Pool originally. So Nice Pool initially just existed to serve the purpose of introducing Dogpool, but then it evolved and grew. This is again why I say Nice Pool did exist prior to Justin Baldoni's situation. However, the way he was written in the script was different than how he showed up in the movie. He was supposed to be a particular thing, and then they totally changed how he visually looked. That's why people were like, look, what the script says, that Nice Pool looks like. It doesn't sound like Justin Baldoni. And I'm like, yeah, but it also doesn't sound like what we actually end up seeing on screen. Because again, it evolved and grew. The idea appealed of creating this character based on guys you find in the zeitgeist right now who are faux nice. They may present as very progressive and enlightened. Nice Pool himself identifies as a feminist, but the truth is very different. They're talking about themselves as these incredible allies, but underneath that, there's something a little false. And here's the key word, he says, probably. Reynolds says, I like that this guy was paving over this something headery with his esoteric hot yoga, chakra balancing nonsense. And as y'all know, Justin Baldoni comes from the Baha'i faith. I don't know if they do any of these things, but it is very clear in Blake Lively's lawsuit, in her 30-point no more document, which included complaints about his faith, aspects of his faith, right? And I really do think, I am really more convinced than ever that Ryan Reynolds wrote that 30-point thing rather than Blake Lively. I mean, and none of the faith-related stuff made it into the 17-point side agreement, right? But they made sure that it was still listed in the 30-point. But anyways, beside the point here, but not really beside the point. And his little top knot, as a reminder, folks, Justin Baldoni had long hair at one point that he put in a top knot. And here's the thing, He grew out his hair so he could donate it. They're wild, wild folks for this. They're literally wild, wild folks for this. And all that stuff. So we plant, oh, I loved the way he words it. So we plant this seed early that he's a little fake spiritual. Not that he is, but they plant the idea that he is a little fake spiritual. But he also may be kind of a piece of, you know. It just allows us to not feel too bad taking his life brutally. And y'all, to me, that's a confession. He never could even say that Nice Pool was actually everything he claimed. He couched it with probably, or maybe. He couldn't even say he wasn't real. Because I think a part of him realized that this is who Justin Baldoni is. He actually is this nice. And he actually does care about his faith. And he actually, is a person that's living out. I think Nice Pool, or Justin Baldoni, called Ryan Reynolds out for being fake nice. Not with his words, but with his life. And there's nothing more grating to people than meeting people who are actually who they pretend to be. And I think that's what Ryan Reynolds couldn't stand. Justin Baldoni was a daily reminder that what he tries to be, pretends to be, which I didn't even know he had this reputation of being the nicest guy in Hollywood, Ryan Reynolds, because I've never thought he was the nicest guy in Hollywood, but apparently he has this reputation, or so they say. But so there's nothing more aggravating than someone who has built an image that they are like that, and then they meet someone who is that, and they can't stand it because it's a reminder that they're faking it, and now they have to find a way to make people hate this person. And so what they do is plant a little seed that, guess what, y'all? He's not really a feminist. He's not really a feminist. He doesn't really care about you. He's just using you. And then you go and obliterate his life, and you won't feel so bad. And the people watching you obliterate his life will be like, sure, why not? Because he might be fake.